You're blaming that on Trump?
No, and I'm watching his theatrical ability. He is playing this.
Okay, but he didn't have to do anything. I mean, he came out, it reminded me of when Mike Tyson used to knock guys out in 90 seconds. Like, that was like 2 minutes into the debate, and I went, oh, this election is over. I mean, that was like a haymaker.
Hilariously, it looks like Bill Maher has simply given up on Joe Biden after Thursday's debate, as other liberals are currently in panic mode, trying to find a solution, or they're coping and self-denying, saying that actually Biden did fine in the debate and he's going to do fine in the election. Bill Maher has simply checked out. He's probably listening to Frank Sinatra's My Way, and he's just like, it's over. And no, the end is near. So we're going to react to that in today's video. But first, folks, as usual, if you like the content, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. But with that said, here's what Bill Maher had to say about Thursday night's debate, and objectively, it's pretty funny, but I also have some comments to make on it, so let's take a listen.
Wow. Huh? Huh? Did you see the debate? In case you missed it, don't worry, so did one of the contestants. Wow. I mean, Trump told lie after lie after lie. He never would have gotten away with that if Joe Biden was there. Oh, wow. Oh, Joe. Come on, man. Joe. You know, Joe, he famously loves trains, but apparently not of thought. I mean, just all night confused and halting and trailing off. I've seen beauty pageant contestants answer questions better. I mean, I don't...
So you can see the look on Bill's face. He's simply defeated. But I do have a genuine question for Bill Maher, which is, do you still stand by your past comments regarding Joe Biden? Because Bill's take for the past year is that Biden is actually okay in the head, and these are his words. He just presents as old, right? Basically saying cognitively up here, he's still sharp, but he's just old on the outside. Age didn't hit him well. And so that's why he seems senile to the American public. Well, Bill, my question is, after Thursday's debate, do you still believe that? And if so, how can you believe that? Because I don't see how you could say that what we saw at Thursday night's debate was simply Biden presenting as old. You know, maybe you could say the way he walked onto the stage or his terrible body language the entire time. Yeah, maybe that's just age hitting him physically on the outside, and inside he's still fine. But the fact that he couldn't articulate a single thought for an entire 90 minutes, Bill, are you seriously going to look at me and say, no, that's just an exterior thing, he's still fine up here? Because I think after what we saw on Thursday night, that is completely just impossible to deny, truly. But anyways, just a question I have. Wonder what Bill Maher has to say about that going forward, because I think it's a lot deeper than just presenting as old. No, he is old, and he's cognitively declined a lot up here. Just look at past debate videos of Biden if you don't believe me.
I don't want to say he shit the bed. His new Secret Service name is Amber Heard. Come on. This guy was bad. And it wasn't just what came out of his mouth. You know, I mean, the look on his face the whole night. It just looked like somebody just thought he left the stove on, you know? I mean, the last time CNN covered someone this lost, I got to go back to that Malaysian airline plane that went down the Pacific.
Yeah, so objectively, it is pretty funny, but I mean, I think you can tell Bill Maher is defeated. Bill, by the way, has been calling the past 2 years to replace Joe Biden. He's been, I guess, stating the obvious in many ways, which is this guy's not a strong candidate to run. Why are the Democrats going through with this? And we'll talk about the news on that front in a second, because it's also not good for Bill on that front, because it doesn't look like they're going to be replacing Biden at the current moment, but talk about it in a second. Let's continue, though. A couple more clips of this.
We finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicaid, beat it to death.
You see the head, the way he turned that head? He wanted to, he knew the two-shot would be up there. He wanted to have his head turning like, let's watch the guy show how crazy he is. He's looking for it. Look, this election.
You're blaming that on Trump?
No, I'm watching his theatrical ability. He is playing this.
Okay, but he didn't have to do anything. I mean, he came out, it reminded me of when Mike Tyson used to knock guys out in 90 seconds. Like, that was like 2 minutes into the debate, and I went, oh, this election is over. I mean, that was like a haymaker right away.
Look, I've watched the guy. He is so fast on the trigger.
So this election is over, according to Bill Maher. Hey, I'm not here to say that because I don't think it's smart for the Trump campaign to get complacent. But yeah, you got to admit we're in a pretty strong situation at the current moment. And you see some liberals trying to cope about it. They're saying, who's going to even remember the presidential debate? Gee, I don't know, the 50 million Americans who watched it. And you take a look at some of the top media markets of the debate. Most of the cities on that list are in the key battleground states. So, gee, I don't know. Maybe the fact that the sitting president and the Democrat nominee was literally not present at the debate, in Bill Maher's own words, when he was already headed into the election, trailing pretty massively. Yeah, if you're a Democrat, you should have cause for concern. Or if you're Bill Maher, you may even look at this and say it's over. Okay, it's simply over. But, of course, many other Democrats are disagreeing with him on that. They're trying to say, no, Joe Biden is fine because he gave one speech saying he was going to get back up on his feet. It's like, okay. Honestly, I said this in the last video. I'm going to say it again. If that's what these people want to believe, if the Democrats want to respond to this, because you saw the first 24 hours, they were panicking. They were saying, we got to replace Biden. And then there was like one clip of him at Waffle House where it looked like he pooped his pants. But for some reason, the Democrats were saying, Joe Biden's doing just fine. And then, of course, the campaign speech where he was screaming like a maniac. If they want to look at that and believe everything is fine as the ship sinks around them, as the house burns down around them, let them do it. Never interrupt your enemy when they are making a mistake. But Bill Maher may have seemingly gotten some good news yesterday, because we got the news saying that Biden, and this is as we speak, I'm recording this around 4 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday, so this is happening right now. Biden is expected to discuss the future of his re-election campaign with his family on Sunday, following the debate that left many fellow Democrats worried about his ability to beat Trump. So a lot of people were saying yesterday, wait a minute, guys, is this the news? Are they going to come to the decision for Biden to drop out? However, sad news for Bill Maher, by the way, because this is what he's wanted. It doesn't look like that's what the meeting is really about, or that's what the meeting's conclusion is going to be, because the Biden campaign responded to this directly and said, yeah, no, this meeting was announced a week ago. Joe Biden is and will be the Democrat nominee. And you see here, June 23rd, 2024, they already announced this way in advance, saying after the president and the first lady will depart Red Bank, New Jersey en route to Camp David, they will remain there until Tuesday. And so, according to the Biden campaign, now things can change, absolutely. I would not take either side's word at the current moment, because we know, especially given what's currently going on, there could be a last-minute decision to pull Biden from the race, and that would be good news not just for Bill Maher, but all the Democrats, because at this point, virtually anyone they choose to replace Biden, in my opinion, perhaps even including Kamala, have a stronger chance in the election than the 93,000-year-old zombie that we saw on stage on Thursday. So I will reiterate that I am not naive. Obviously, things can change. The DNC takes place in August, and so they still have about a month and a half to make a last-minute change, and I'm sure there is a wing within the Democratic Party currently trying to push that. However, there do seem to be signs that even if the Democrats want to replace Biden, it's not going to be as easy as doing the little switcheroo like people think it is. And this is a couple things to point out here. So first of all, many of Biden's major donors, including one guy, Reid Hoffman, is standing by Joe Biden. And you see here, he put out this long email memo basically saying, no, we're standing by Biden as the candidate. We've already fundraised for Biden. It's too late to pull out now. But I think the biggest roadblock that the replace Biden crowd might run into is not the donors, it's not the optics of pulling Biden, it's the fact that procedurally and legally, the move to replace Biden is going to have a lot of challenges. And Charlie Kirk tweeted this out, and I think this is good information here. He says, "This is big. It is likely too late to remove Joe Biden from the ballot. In Wisconsin, that legal filing deadline, which is obviously a swing state, has already passed. In Nevada, after tonight, the fourth Friday in June, it will be too late to remove Biden. In Georgia, only a few weeks remain before it will be too late." So yes, the Democrats could try to find a legal loophole around this, but if we're currently in the situation where already 3 battleground states, it's too late to make some type of last minute change, that's a huge legal roadblock that might lead the Democrats to say, okay, as much as we may want to replace Biden, it's just not doable. It's just not feasible. And as I've also pointed out, how do you even go about that at the DNC, at the convention, right? How are you going to get all of your delegates to say, okay, we're not voting for Biden, blah, 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 but then also not have them vote for Kamala, who's already on the ticket and is Biden's logical successor. But if you want to put Gavin Newsom up there, that's a lot of procedural issues at the convention they're going to have to pull off. And considering they moved the nomination process to a earlier virtual online Zoom meeting because they ran into ballot access issues in Ohio. The long story short, if it's getting too complicated to understand, the long story short is if they want to replace Biden, it's just not an easy procedural process to do at the DNC, nor may it even be legal according to the filing deadlines of certain key swing states. So this is reported from the Daily Mail. The Heritage Oversight Project has set their sights on 3 contentious swing states where they believe taking Biden off the Democratic ticket would not allow anyone else to replace him: in Georgia, Nevada, and Wisconsin. Wisconsin does not allow withdrawal from the ballot for any reasons besides death. In Nevada, no changes can be made to the ballot after 5 p.m. on the 4th Friday in June, which obviously passed already, on an election year, or a nominee dies or is adjudicated mentally insane or mentally incompetent. Now, granted, yes, the last one, perhaps they could adjudicate Joe Biden to be mentally incompetent, but keep in mind, that's going to take more than a simple press release from the Democratic Party saying that Biden is mentally incompetent. If I'm not mistaken, that's going to have to go through the courts and maybe a doctor and all this stuff. So yes, I guess in theory it's possible, but to me, it doesn't seem all that likely or easy for them to pull off, and that's the issue, and that's why they may look at it and say, as much as it might help us, it's simply not worth it. It's not feasible. So if Biden were to withdraw with less than 60 days before the election in Georgia, his name will remain on the ballot, but no votes will be counted. In Texas, the 2 parties' nominees have until the 74th day to withdraw from the ballot. Some states like South Carolina do not allow candidates to withdraw for political reasons. So that might be the bad news here. Okay, for their side. Now, the good news is for our side, because if you're worried they're going to do a last minute switcheroo and they're going to put up a much stronger candidate than Biden, again, I'm still saying it's possible. Okay, it is still fully possible that despite all these issues, they may look at it and say it's still a better chance of winning than running Joe Biden. But keep in mind, these are huge issues that stand in front of them. Okay, it's not as easy as saying, all right, the party elite say we want someone else, let's do someone else. No, you still have to do that through the convention. The delegates have to be somehow pressured into choosing Newsom. That's possible, but it's not easy. But arguably the harder part here is, even if they want to do that, how do you get through the legal issues, the legal challenges? And are the Democrats willing to take that risk? Because yes, they may win in court. They may get some of these things overturned, but they also may not. And so you're taking a chance that, oh, we're going to win in court. But if we don't win in court, automatically we're already destined by the math to lose the election, because we lost 3 battleground states. And especially without Wisconsin, it's going to be very hard for Biden to even find a path to victory that is realistic, or Newsom or any of the Democrats. So with that said, folks, let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comment section down below. Do you think Bill Maher is just essentially given up? And if Bill's demand that he's had to replace Biden is not feasible, What do the Democrats do from here? But with that said, folks, be sure to leave a like on this video, hit that subscribe button if you are new, and until next time, Alpha Moves only, God bless. Have a very great rest of your day, and peace.